Hello everyone and welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play series. And as you can see, I finally added that secret entrance that I was waffling on about forever. Yeah, that was not taking all that long. It took me like maybe 10 minutes to do. I had to go and do a redesign because the space I had was incorrect to what I had in the building. But yeah, now I have a super secret entrance to the little secret bunker I have that has a direct access to my mine, so yeah, it's kind of pointless, but it's a really fun detail and I enjoyed adding it. Anyway, that is not the focus of today. Today is going to be a big day because, unfortunately, while I really like my little tent here, I think it's really cute, there's a lot of temporary stuff with like these, this smelter here, and I don't really want to be dealing with some of that, and instead, I want to go move to my main base area, which is over there. And also, yeah, I installed Bobby mods, so now I can actually see all the way to my base, which is really cool. Anyway, just before I mention that, it's probably also worth noting why I suddenly have a bunch of fireworks, and that is because Axolotl has worked very hard to build this, which looks like an amazing volcano. It's very Scar-esque, if I'm being honest, but it's also a creeper farm, and it is producing pretty well. So yeah, we have a lot of gunpowder now, and that's great to see. So I'm not really worried about gunpowder anymore. So that's cool. Anyway, first thing I'm going to be doing today to start off this amazing video is I'm going to start moving some of my stuff over to the dark forest where my base is going to be, and then we can start wrapping things up in these barrels, get everything moved, and then I can start talking to you about my base ideas. Right, I'm over here in the forest, and I've, just for the sake of me being able to tell what land I need to clear, I've gone and marked out a big old boundary, and this is pretty much where my industrial district, which is going to be my base for the first set of episodes, is going to reside. Of course, because it's 128 radius, which means it's 256 blocks along, in theory, I could have multiple kinds of farms all dotted around here. So say in this river area, I could have a squid farm and a drowned farm. I could have a creeper farm on the other end. I could have like a general mob farm. I could have other farms. And of course, I can have things like iron farms, villager breeders, bamboo farms, kelp farms. There's so many farms that I've always wanted to build, but I've always sort of restricted myself to building a building, give it a purpose. And this season, I really want to change that by building a massive industrial district. But of course, in order to do this, I'm going to have to clear all this land. So ensue the long montage of me getting a whole load of dark oak wood. I'm probably never going to need wood for the rest of this season. So yeah, let's just cut straight into that time lapse. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse because I did not. But it is done. Look at this. It is honestly quite beautiful. I know in the time lapse you couldn't see this barrier here. That's just because of how replay mod works. But man, it just looks ridiculous. And I am quite happy with what I've done here. Now, the next thing to do is to build a platform really high up in the air. And then I can start building farms. And I don't really know what kinds of farms to build first. I honestly think that simply for the sake of Axolotl over there in the distance has got a creeper farm, I should probably inaugurate this place then with a sugarcane farm. So, well, it might not be a time lapse because, man, I think there's going to be too much time lapse in this video already and I haven't even started to edit. So bear with me for a bit, but hopefully you should see that in a moment I'll have a platform and I'll have a place where my industrial district will be going. Before we get anything built in this area, it's probably best to go around and double check that every block here within my spawn radius, which I've made a massive sphere for, is lit up. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just sort of running around, placing torches and hoping this covers more or less everything. I don't think it will get every case, and so for some areas of the base I will just have to double light it up again. So like further out, if I ever want to AFK a farm, I might need to light up the ground. So those sorts of cases where I need to make sure that everywhere that I need is spawn proof. So outside of that, I am just running around doing some torch spam. It's not beautiful, but in fairness, this area is not intended to be beautiful in any way, so I don't really have much of a problem with me just spamming torches here. After this, I'll probably end up going into the caves, down here, to go and light up, because they still need to be spawn proofed, since they're also in the spawn radius, and I really don't want to do that. And as I do this more and more, I start to wonder why I didn't just get out this area. And to be honest, the only reason for that is because I couldn't be bothered. I mean, taking out a whole dark oak forest is fine enough. I could move the platform further up in the air, but I'm lazy, so I didn't do that. All of that lighting up has now been done, and while you can't really see it, I've checked and it would appear that it's sort of working. I can't tell if there's no mobs spawning down there. So in theory, if I go 24 blocks out in this direction, or, 96, or however many blocks till we hit that circle over there, and I build a platform, mobs should spawn in it. So really, I think the only thing I need to do now that I've got the border set up, I've cleared all the area, I even went through and, in case you noticed, I got rid of all the mushrooms, I now have those in chests. I think the only thing to do is start building up a sugarcane farm, and I've been testing some designs, and while they're all pretty good, I'm going to need something, and that thing is called slime, and that means I need to go and kill some slimes in the swamp. Now, fortunately, I know where a swamp is. There's one over in that direction, but it's going to take a while, so I suppose I'll cut back to you guys once I've gathered all the resources I'll need, and I'll be starting to set that up. So for the project, I've done some material gathering. I went and got some sand, so now I have all the glass I need. I'll probably end up needing more glass, so I'll regret that later. I've got some slime. It's not as much as I would need for the whole project, but considering that getting slime is quite deadly for me, that's the second time I've died to a creeper in the swamp, so I might want to set myself up with some form of slime farm in the future, but at the moment that's fine. The only other thing that I'll need a lot of in this project, aside from sugarcane itself, of course, is packed ice, and, well, grass. And would you believe it? That's something I don't have a lot of. So I'm probably going to massacre this hill here, dig out some of the area. Even though I said I kind of want to leave it how it is, I need it. So, yeah, sorry, I'm going to need a lot of it. And then I probably should be good to start building, and I'll do a progress update once I've got the layout of everything decided, once I've decided, how much I want to, or where I want tubes to be going, because all of this is going to be fully automated. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a project, but hopefully it's all very good and very fun and very enjoyable for you to watch. So I'm just going to cut away and do it now. Progress update, and I thought I'd do this before I accidentally completed the farm, but we've got most of the way there. It's taken a while to do. That was a lot of rails. I'm pretty much broke on gold now because gold rails, especially when you don't have a piglin farm, are very hard to get. So that's all good. But the only other thing I need to do now is set up my flying machines, set up all the water, set up the timer, which is pretty bulky at the back. And then I've just got to set up getting all of the items, as I think I mentioned, from like a dropper all the way up into the sky, up to my platform up there where I plan to have all my items. And then we should be done. So it sounds like we're really close to the end, but in reality, we're not. So I just need to continue doing this, and I will show you guys the result when I'm done. So despite the creeper and spider and zombie and mob infestation I currently have down there, I need to light that up. The farm is done. It's complete. I did all of the redstone. It's pretty janky, of course. It is a homegrown redstone, so it's probably not perfect. There's definitely better ways of doing it, but I'm pretty happy with doing it myself for once, and I think it works pretty well. The only thing I have to do now is I have to go and catch all this, and, well, quite simply, I just got to AFK. I need to do an AFK session. I need to find out if the farm works and how efficient it is with how much is currently set up in the farm. It's only about, what, after I place this, about half capacity, or like 4/6 capacity. So in reality, it's probably not going to be as much as I did in my own world tests. And of course, you have to factor in things like waiting for sugarcane to grow, because these are going to be on a separate timer to the rest of the sugarcane, because that's how this stuff works. But hopefully at the end, we should see that we have a substantial amount of sugarcane, and then we can start working on the important system, which is connecting this into a tube up to there, so I can have all of my drops up here at my nether portal in my industrial district without having to bother. So I'm going to go AFK, and I'll probably see you guys in a little bit. Right. AFK sessions here have now been concluded, and from my tests, I can say that I have a lot of sugarcane. Now, I don't want the sugarcane here, as I've said many times. I want it up there, and the easiest way to go up would be through a water stream. So yeah, I'm going to be constructing a good old sort of hopper to dispense it into a dropper into a water stream, which is going to go into a pipe, which is going to end up somewhere up there. So I'm probably actually going to do another time-lapse. I know we had the massive time-lapse at the start of this video, but I kind of just wanted to crack on and get all of this nonsense done so I can finish this video, because I really want to get it out by tomorrow, and I'm sort of editing it. Well, I'm going to be editing it today, so I need to crack on, and then I'll see you guys once I've got everything up there. So yeah, let's enter a time-lapse. Time lapse concluded after some ample AFKing, I now have almost a double chest of sugarcane. So this farm is doing very well for itself. I don't think I'm going to have to do anything with it for like the time coming, because now that I've got it set up, it's fairly low on actual maintenance. And so what that means is basically I don't really have to do much here and it'll just keep running. So what that means for me is I now have basically an infinite supply of sugarcane coming in, and we can use that. We can sell it if we want to. But yeah, that's the first farm of many that will be caught up to this system, and hopefully I'll get around to building some of those. But unfortunately, I've spent way too much time on this episode in actual like raw numbers. Like, I know that the end episode might not be as long as it would seem, but this took like 2 weeks of a lot of grinding to do. In fact, it took so long that my last episode I had to delay because I basically was spending so much time on it and then I procrastinated doing anything. So this has been a whole thing that I did, and yeah, I don't think there's much else to say other than I don't know what I'm going to do for the next episode, but I hope I'll see you there, because I'm going to go now because clearly I'm waffling. But anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, subscribe, because I will be making more content on the server. It's only the 3rd episode, of course, at least 10, hopefully. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.